Oh, I forgot to do the countdown. Whatever. Fuck it.
Doing it live.
Doing it live. Fuck it. People are like, oh shit, I wasn't ready for the show. Oh jeez.
Makes two of us.
Hello. Hold on. I didn't turn on my light. Can you reach that? There you go. Light me up.
Look at
Light
that.
me up, Scotty. I wasn't pale enough before I turned up. There we go. Yeah, really
There
blast me out. That's good.
We're gonna get you the Hispanic hue.
Yeah. Said to Jose Settings.
There very much is on these lights though.
Yeah.
Very bright white and very yellow.
Yeah, below that it says Latinx.
Yes.
Naturally. Yeah.
What's up? Wow, we planned that. Starting off strong.
It's too strong.
January 44th, 2049.
Yes.
It's
Are
one of
we
those
talking
days.
about Battlefield 2049? Or is
No,
that the new one?
We'll get to that. That's EA, right?
That is EA. So I didn't have anything planned to talk about that. But
Did a new Battlefield game come out?
yeah, and it was broken.
Okay.
Just like totally, like people were driving motorboats up skyscrapers, like just like terribly broken.
So I have two excuses for why I have no idea what you're talking about. One, the one that I normally give, I have two kids that are both about under 2.
Sure.
I have no idea what's going on as far as like current issues on video games. Meh.
Mhm.
Or also, who cares? It's Battlefield. It's not 2006. I don't care what's going on in like Call of Duty, Battlefield. I don't care about it.
Yeah, no, I didn't give a fuck about it. If it came out perfect, I wouldn't care. Like either way, like I was gonna play Battlefield. I just like watching the glitch compilation.
It seems like that's the norm now. New games come out and they're broken, and then you wait like 3 weeks.
Like you know who's like good? Like Sony's good about it.
Are they?
Sony games don't come out broken. Not in the same way.
In different ways.
Yeah, no, I don't. I guess Days Gone had some like glitches at launch.
It was pretty. Yeah. What was the other one? Death Stranding.
I don't know if Death Stranding was broken from like that perspective. I think that one was just
boring,
like designed that way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where like it's weirdly, it's Kojima, so
yeah,
it has like Kojima jank. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
As opposed to like the code is fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like Kojima designs his games in a very weirdly specific way.
Right.
They work as intended,
which is sometimes not at all.
Right. Yeah. It's just it. Yes, that's the difference. I think.
Well, welcome everybody to the show. We're doing things and we're talking about stuff.
Getting real deep in it. I think we always start with what have you been watching? Anything?
What have I been watching? You know, one of these days I'll be prepared.
Yeah.
I've been watching Encanto just nonstop.
Yeah, I figured. I heard some. We don't talk about Bruno as soon as you walked in.
Oh my gosh.
You were.
There's worse movies for my 2-year-old to love. And I'm fine with watching Encanto 4 times a day.
Sure.
Because I don't really watch it. We were watching it right before I came here. And there's still parts of that movie that I haven't seen because I've never really
haven't like sat down and watched it.
Yeah. So I saw a scene today and I'm like, oh wow, that's good.
A hurricane of empanada. It's very catchy.
Right. So, and you told me, what was it? It must have been last week or the week before that song, you didn't like that song.
No, I didn't. And then they posted it on YouTube and I was like, let me watch that again.
They all grow on you.
Now it's number 2 on music trending.
Oh my God. Love it.
I think We Don't Talk About Bruno is still like number 4.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's good.
That one's the best, I think. Especially when like at the end with the layering, like, ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think the Surface Pressure song is still my favorite.
Oh, okay.
I can't think Jessica Darrow.
I think that one has actually dropped to my number 3.
Don't worry. It'll change. You're just like 2 weeks behind me in the evolution.
Well, I will say at this point, I think they've pretty much stopped coming up in my recommended. So it might just fall away from me. I don't have a 2-year-old watching it on repeat. It just like it was on YouTube and like and I dance a little bit.
Look, catchy.
And I move on. Yeah.
No shame in it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little shame in it, but like I don't care enough.
Whatever.
I have,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't care about anybody's opinions of what I watch.
No. Nope. I did just watch a YouTube video from a comedian named Ryan Long about how podcasting will ruin your life.
Doing podcasts?
Yeah. It's like, hey, do you want to be unhireable in the next 10 years? Here's some like great tips on how to podcast so that you'll say things that they'll be able to use against you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Yeah, podcasting is the career to end all careers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was very funny, though. You should definitely watch it. It hit a little too close to home, and I'm like, well, this has been a fun run. This will be our last episode ever.
Yeah.
Turns out, but if I don't want to be hireable, I'll just be a Democrat. And that's what that'll do it for me.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Who knows if any of this will matter? Like when China invades.
Nothing really matters. It
That's
all depends on where your framework is zoomed
in 100 years, everyone you ever met will be dead. That's true. So none of it matters.
Well, yeah, I guess.
If you really want, the more
zoomed out you go,
the less anything matters.
Right. But that's just nihilism.
Yeah. Which is why the way I take that is, so just enjoy the present and be in the present, because that's all that matters.
I don't know if that's true. Because you do need, okay. So the argument against that is in one of the first episodes of The Simpsons. Mm-hmm. Homer's on the couch and he's drinking a ton of beers, and he's got like pickled eggs and meat snacks and other stuff. And Marge comes in and goes, homie, you're going to get sick if you eat all that. And he belches in the way he does and looks at her and goes, well, that's a problem for future Homer.
Yeah.
So to say that the present is all that matters and to not take into account,
I guess, sure. You know what? The present, I guess I'm not saying just the this exact moment.
Sure.
I guess I'm just saying like it's your life
foreseeable future. Well, yeah. I think that changes if you have kids.
Sure.
Because then you're not,
priorities change. Absolutely.
Sure. And, as they should.
Yeah.
If you have kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hot take. If your priorities don't change even a little bit when you have kids, just BTFO.
Yeah, fucking. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can agree with that.
Yeah. Like, because and the flip side of that is like, I know plenty of people that the opposite hasn't happened, and they've just remained the same person with the same messed up priorities that they had before they had kids. It's like, okay, I'm not saying, people shouldn't have kids or should have kids, whatever. It's kind of absent of that, but what it is,
some people shouldn't have kids.
I agree with that. However, if you do have kids, you should change a little bit.
You should probably change a lot.
Right.
I mean, I guess it depends on the person, but
sure.
I'm sure some like kindergarten teacher is already like a maternal thing. They probably don't have to change as much as other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So like one of the guys that I knew, I knew him when we would go out drinking and stuff. We go out to bars and, we had a kid, and then he's still doing exactly that. Still and he's, with his baby mama, but still hitting on girls at the bar, still getting blackout drunk. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And that's not uncommon, is what I found.
Sure.
It's definitely easier for guys not to change. However, I've seen women even do the same thing too. And it's baffling to me.
Well, I just was sheltered as a youth, but I didn't realize how many people just drink heavily all the time.
Sure.
Like, because my parents didn't really drink.
No.
Even I've never even seen. I've seen my mom drunk more often than my dad, which is weird if you know my parents. Because
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. You've never met them.
Nope.
But so when I became an adult and started seeing how people just drinking all the time, I was like, oh fuck. Don't you have kids? Don't you have things to do?
Responsibilities in any regard.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's high functioning alcoholism.
Exactly.
I would say that's a greater percentage of our population than is admitted to.
Yeah.
But
real men just drink regular old hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Heavily
well, we're stationary for at least the next 3 hours.
Exactly.
So, give or take. Yeah, long episode today. We're meshing with politically correcting.
We're just not gonna stop.
Yep.
I forget who the guest is today.
That's why we're dragging this intro on for so long.
I know,
because we have to.
Well, do we want to get into what I've been watching? I guess.
I wasn't gonna ask, but I guess I will.
Yeah. Okay. I'm asking myself. So Austin,
I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
What have you been watching?
Well, based on your recommendation.
The
first 2 episodes of the book of Boba Fett.
And it happens that we do this on Wednesday and the new episodes do come out on Wednesday. I have yet to see episode 4.
Did you watch episode 3?
I did.
You hadn't last I checked.
I did. I went home and it must have been Thursday evening that I watched episode 3. It's baffling to me, along with how people don't grow up, why now people at episode 3 of this show are starting to jump on the "we hate this show" bandwagon. Did they not watch the first 2 episodes? Because they were equally terrible. Episode 3 was not good either.
Okay.
But it actually was probably my favorite of the 3.
Interesting. Okay. Can I give you my take on it?
Go for it. So for your first 2 episode review.
I don't hate it.
Oh my God.
I don't hate it. Well, by the way, a lot of your points, 100% agree with. Like Boba Fett, like the weird, like the Rancor scene and like that scene. That one. Ugh, I didn't like it.
You've made me part my hair to the other side.
This is evil, Dan. But
negative.
It just, I don't know. It was fine. I don't know. I thought it was fine. It just,
you don't think that
there were scenes that I liked, and then scenes that I was like, meh. Like I don't care about anything basically in, I guess what you would call present day, of the show. Like the show goes between 2 timelines.
Right. So the one with the huts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, like, I don't know, like him there just wasn't like enough of like nothing was happening, and like he needed to kill the mayor and he needed to kill everybody who crossed him.
Yes.
Or kill anybody who crossed him.
Right.
Because I'm fine with his line of like, I will rule with respect and all that. But what that should mean, anybody who disrespects you should get murdered. That's how I read that line. It's like, all right, I will treat you with respect as long as you treat me with respect.
Yes, but he juxtaposes that line with, I won't rule by fear.
Yeah.
So you can't kill the people who disrespect you because that would incite fear. That's what that read to me. So the line in and of itself, I intend to rule with respect. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't put it against, Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to just say I intend to rule with respect.
See, I think there is a difference. Like I think Jabba probably just killed random fucking people.
Sure.
He like loved throwing people in the Rancor pit and like killing people for sport.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference between that and like just killing people who disrespect you.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's how I heard the line.
That's not how I read it at all, but I understand where you're coming from. But the show, you don't think that it does a disservice to the character at all?
The character doesn't exist. The character is nothing.
But
the character is a blank slate, basically.
So even if you took but there's enough of it with Jango Fett in the prequels that there's a way that this character probably should act.
He should be more ruthless.
Yes.
But I actually, so let me go to the other timeline then. The Tusken Raider timeline here, or like the other
the
story. Yes.
Yeah. Post Sarlacc pit.
He ends up, one of the things that I think is the show's biggest detriment is how much like they're just following the Mandalorian formula. Because like that second episode with the Tusken Raiders and the train, is basically the second episode of the Mandalorian where he goes to the village and like trains the people in the village to like defend themselves.
And so that's what I said last week was that if you want to watch a good Boba Fett show, just watch the Mandalorian, and pretend that it's Boba Fett if you really want to do that.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I just think that the Mandalorian actually put this show at a disservice because it now has to explain everything from the Mandalorian, right? You've got why he doesn't have his armor. You've got why the Tusken Raiders are apparently sympathetic.
Yeah. Which, see, that part, like, I don't know. That actually brought up some stuff that I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Sure.
The idea of like these native people and then like everyone else, because Star Wars as a universe, every planet just has a bunch of aliens on it.
Yeah.
So like the idea that some planets just have like these native people who are like, fuck all these fucking aliens coming here and like fucking shit up.
I agree with two caveats.
Yep.
One being that it's Disney and there's some indigenous bullshit about it.
So this might segue into the next show I watch.
But the second one is that if you're going to explore the Tusken Raiders, even though I know you have to do it through Boba Fett because of the Mandalorian, don't do it through Boba Fett. It's not the character to do it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think as a show in and of itself, if you take away any preconceived notions of Boba Fett, it's fine.
Yeah, but you can't. How can you?
See, because I didn't have any. Who the fuck is Boba Fett?
But I still think that I still think he, like you said, he's got to be more ruthless. You at least know him as a bounty hunter, and then he says that he's not. And you're like, the fuck? Like,
right.
He had like a spiritual awakening in the Sarlacc pit. He also had one with the lizard,
which I like when it got weird and fucking
weird,
which I'm on board with. Like, get weird with Star Wars and and then he makes a stick and he does a dance with the Tusken Raiders. I was all about that. I was all in for the stick dance.
I just don't think that he's the character to do it.
Sure.
I actually, if you watch The Mandalorian with Boba Fett, Tamara Morrison.
Okay. Is he in it?
Yes. He's in season 2.
I've only seen like the first 2 episodes or 3 episodes of season 2.
I didn't have a problem with him in that. I think he actually stayed. It felt like it was a natural extension of that character, like where you would think he would go.
Okay.
Like he's not a jerk, but he's what you would think he would be.
Sure.
He wants his armor back. And that's his thing.
I might have to watch The Mandalorian season 2 because is that where he kills Bib Fortuna?
I don't know.
Because they allude to that a lot in Boba Fett, like him taking over. Do they show that, or is that?
I watched this so long ago, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
And if they did,
I wonder if that's
he didn't kill.
That might be the purpose. He killed Bib Fortuna.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I thought he said.
Didn't he say that Bib Fortuna killed Jabba? Was that what he said?
I don't think that's what he said. I think he said Jabba died, Bib Fortuna took over, and I killed Bib Fortuna.
No, because he slanders Bib Fortuna. The coward. Jabba was betrayed by his. That's what he says.
I must have missed that.
Watch it again. It's when he's talking to the Hutts outside. Wherever the mayor's house that he goes and sees, and then
I watched it this morning. I don't remember him saying
who he actively knows is trying to kill him, and he just lets the mayor go like 3 times.
Yeah, already. He should have killed the mayor.
Yeah, he knows he's a bad guy.
And that's look. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's like great or anything. If I hadn't watched it, I would have been fine. It's fine.
What makes me mad is people were all about the first 2 episodes, and now all of a sudden people are, saying, "Oh, this show isn't good. The character's not good. It's not what Boba Fett is." I said that.
Yeah, sure. I don't know,
but episode 3 didn't change my mind about it. It wasn't like, "Whoa, this is bad now." No, I think actually probably episode 3 was the best of the 3 episodes.
At this point, I think I'm just going to wait for the show to finish and I'll watch the rest of it.
I should go back and watch The Mandalorian season 2 again, and then
I might do that in the meantime.
Yeah, but I don't think it's good. Again, I don't think it's bad, but it's not good.
I'm also not saying it's good. I'm saying it's fine.
But yeah, the whole premise of the show is based around Boba Fett, and I just don't like what they've done to the character. No disrespect to Tamara Morrison. I actually think he does a pretty good job.
Yeah, he has a couple says that I'm like, all right.
You're like, you're rusty. You're shaking off the rust. It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Because he's old.
Well, and he probably did this like on the back of Mandalorian season 2. So
Sure.
it was probably like all
right off of Aquaman.
Was he in Aquaman?
He's Aquaman's dad.
Oh yeah. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
It's like crossover.
Yeah.
But it's not. We'll see how it rounds out. In experience, Disney Plus shows about Marvel characters or Star Wars characters, they only ever start good and end poorly. Very few of them have ended well. So the quality decreases over time. I've yet to see one that increases.
Sure. That's entirely.
I think they start strong typically, and then they falter, whereas this one started very lacklusterly.
That's fine.
So we'll see.
So going back to the indigenous people's point,
sure.
I did not think that was in any way like ham-fisted, like, when people come in, they destroy cultures and blah, blah. Like they didn't give the fucking speech. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, but
I thought it was like a natural like reaction for these people. Where they're like the off-worlders, they brought their machines, so we're just kind of hanging out. That was the extent of it.
The line was, they think this is their native land.
Did they? I didn't see that.
What was it? Yeah, it was something. He was talking to the head of the ship or the train. The Boba Fett is talking to the leader of the train.
Oh, okay, yes. I was thinking of the leading up to the lizard scene.
And he goes, we're just trying to protect our stock or whatever is on the train. And he says something along the lines of, well, these have been their seas for the last whatever, how many years. They have claim to this land or some.
Sure. I don't see that. It didn't feel preachy to me.
It was the rebuttal to it. Well, they think this is, to your outsiders to them or something. I thought it was dumb. I don't like the Tusken Raiders being sympathetic.
I don't know. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, they can have the things and
I actually think that helps add to like episode 2 when Anakin kills them all. Because before, who the fuck cares? Now they're people.
Right. And maybe
now he's killed women and children. And we've seen the children.
I don't need that much gray in my Star Wars. There's enough gray of like, Qui-Gon. Who knows? Was he a good guy? Was he a bad guy?
Yeah.
That's enough. That's enough gray.
Sure.
Tusken Raiders are bad.
Well,
they're evil.
We don't need more Star Wars.
Yeah, no, we don't.
So I'm actually okay. If you want to get like fine, because Star Wars is so black and white. If you want to do something different in that universe, fine, go gray. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I guess. But the Tusken Raiders, it's just.
So I'm going to contrast this now with another show I've been watching. Peacemaker.
What?
Have you heard about Peacemaker?
No.
Did you see The Suicide Squad?
The new one?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so this is a sequel to that movie.
Is it a show?
It's a show.
What's it on?
HBO Max.
Oh, hibbo.
Yeah. Which I think, let's start there, I guess. HBO Max, I think, has some, like, woke quota shit going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they just released Santa Inc., of course. And bad. Peacemaker, the first episode specifically was so heavy-handed with like race and gender shit that it really fucking annoyed me. And so maybe that's why after like I watched Boba Fett after that, and I was like, no race or gender shit.
That's true, because really in Boba Fett, the only line that like even piqued my ears up about it was about that. And like you said, I do agree with the argument that it did seem right in context.
Yeah.
I just don't think Boba Fett's the one that's going to be, championing these people.
Well, does that continue in episode 3?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's still like...
Okay, I don't know.
He's selfish.
It could get that bad.
But anyways.
But...
You buckethead here.
That's John Cena.
Oh my God. Of course it is.
Yeah. Which... But fuck it, I don't know. John Cena. So I almost didn't watch it because of John Cena. But then I saw the whole series is written and directed by James Gunn.
Okay.
And I like James Gunn. And so I like the stuff that really annoys me in the first episode. I wonder if that's just HBO fucking, but because I've never known James Gunn to like hammer home a politics or gender, like, or race or like anything like that in any of his previous efforts. There's none of that in like Guardians.
So HBO Max is owned by Warner Media, which is owned by AT&T.
Okay.
Which has what partnerships with CNN?
Maybe. I don't know. Going a whole few levels deep here.
Yeah. Well, it's not surprising to me that they've gone super woke in this. And you say like James Gunn, like he probably had a hand in doing this.
Well, he wrote and directed the whole series.
Okay. How much control do you think he had in that?
I think more after the first, because the first episode stands out. The next 2 episodes aren't as bad.
Huh.
Like, so let me give you an example of a scene.
It's probably why Pam divorced him.
James Gunn was with Pam?
Jenna Fisher, yeah.
Weird. Okay. Anywho, so
it's a direct sequel to the Suicide Squad, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The Peacemaker is a character in the Suicide Squad, and so the show picks up right where he left off. There's a scene in Peacemaker, and I feel like I've seen this scene a million times, although I cannot think of a specific example. So if you think of one, let me know.
Sure.
All right, here's the scene. We're setting up badass female character.
Okay.
It's this blonde lady here.
Oh yeah, she looks snarky.
Oh yeah. She goes to a bar, and she has a beer, and up comes Douchey McDouche bar patron. You know who I'm talking about?
Yep.
He comes up. They always come on like, hey, pretty tits, let's go fuck.
That's how guys talk.
Yes. And specifically this character, I think, calls her Goldilocks.
Oh.
Like, hey, Goldilocks, how you doing? If you want to fuck, like, just really like, it like gets touches her arm and shit. Like, just the most like overly aggressive bar patron who's ever existed.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck you. You got fish breath. Blah. And he's like, what the fuck you say to me? And he like goes to like attack her. So she like does some judo and like grabs his finger and like twists it around or whatever. And he like leaves like whining, like, he does the high pitch. And I'm just like, okay. There's a lot of like, aren't white guys the fucking worst?
Yep.
In the episode, there's a lot of that going on.
Self-flatulation.
Yep. And it's just like, why? Who is this for? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Do you have an example of that in another thing? Because I know I've seen that before, right?
Well, that's basically all Captain Marvel.
Yeah. But that's because she does, like, takes the guy's like bike or whatever, because he's like, hey, smile for me or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that scene.
The bar scene in Boba Fett really gets me.
What bar scene in Boba Fett?
Maybe it's episode 3 then. No, it has to be episode 2 because that's how he gets the speeder bikes.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know the one you're talking about.
He walks in
and he like kicks some people's ass, and then
yeah, but they were clearly the bad guys.
Yeah, they stole the nice people's drink.
It's not the same as what you're talking about right here, but you just reminded me of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the pussy guy.
Yeah. Oh, this not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's fine.
And then Boba is the savior. Boba's not a good guy.
No.
That's my whole issue with that show. But anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't think of one off the top of my head. But it's derivative of all of those Batwoman, it will be when it fits a man. It's the Bechdel test, right? Like how long can how long can it go without two characters talking about a man? And they all fail. So I don't know. I can't think of one specifically, but I know that trope and it's just awful.
We're doing good, Mike. Looking at the comments. So yeah, I don't know. And like the first episode has a few moments of that level of subtlety.
Yeah.
And then he gets past it. But even then, I don't know, the jokes aren't quite landing. Like usually I think James Gunn is pretty funny. Like I think the Guardians movies are legit funny.
Sure.
I think the Guardians scenes in Avengers are legit funny. He wrote those. Like he's and I think the Suicide Squad is legit funny. And man, it's just not clicking with me. I think it might have been the sour taste left by the first episode. Also, I am worried. The bad guy, they set up the bad guy as this character White Dragon, who's this DC villain who's like a white supremacist. And so I'm afraid that's going to lead to like do better senator type moments, you know?
You need to do better.
Yeah. Are you texting?
No, I'm looking up. So I'm looking at the only reviews that are positive for the Peacemaker are from, and I kid you not, the website that I clicked on was the Mary Sue, and it's unironic.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to continue. I like James Gunn. I think it could get better.
I think more so
be better, Senator.
Yeah, I think more so than that. I don't think anyone cares about this show from what I just glanced at.
Sure.
I just don't think
Suicide Squad wasn't like a huge hit, which was I thought a shame. I thought the Suicide Squad is legit good.
Better than Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad is my least favorite superhero movie. The Suicide Squad is really good.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like John Cena and I won't support anything he does. So sorry, James Gunn.
Yeah, which by the way, I was on the fence about it. So
is the guy in the background with the glasses a bumbling idiot?
Yes.
Yeah. See, look at that.
Yeah, he's the butt of the jokes.
And then you get about equal snark from Token and
and well, specifically, hold on, let me get her up here. There she is. There she is. She's
that's poor superimposing. Like is this a shot from a promotional thing or something?
Yeah, I assume so.
That's bad. I can do better than that.
Be better.
Like photoshopping.
Be better, photo editors. Photo senators. Anyway,
like none of them are in.
This character's kind of fun though. He shows up in episode 2.
None of them are in scale. Like it's all.
But like this character, she's the extra token. She's also a lesbian and like she fills up. She checks a few boxes.
That's what I need in my superhero shows. I need to know sexuality. Like I just need a primer episode of what each character's sexuality is, what their pronouns are, where and when they went to school, how they did on their SATs, and then how they wrote their essay for their SATs about how SATs are racist.
Exactly.
That's what I need.
See, and I don't know, like there was actually some funny, like one of the jokes that I actually laughed at was when Peacemaker like finds out she's a lesbian. He's like, "Oh, I love lesbians. I got 40 gigs of proof that I love lesbians."
All right,
and like that's funny, and like
yeah,
and it's like, oh, all right, because he's like crass and all that, and it's like, all right, that works,
sure.
But like if it ends with him like teaching him like a lesson and like, be better, Peacemaker.
Yeah, no, I'm not about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I won't watch it just because after you showed me the video of John Cena the
fucking China
vomiting all over. What is it? It's Taiwan, right?
So, yeah, he said Taiwan was a country in a press junket.
Right.
And China made him apologize for that in Mandarin.
Yeah. That just gets
he's like, I'm so sorry. I dared to call Taiwan a country.
And what movie was he promoting when he
Furious 9?
That's right.
Or Fast 9?
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Fast and the Furious 9.
I don't know. One of them.
Yeah. It's the 9th one.
Yeah.
If you don't count Hobbs and Shaw.
I think it's the Fast Saga.
Yes.
No, like that's what the movie.
That's what the movie's called. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the subtitle.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, do you think if we name all of our movies different names, it'll generate some conversation about it? Well, Paul Walker's dead, so we got nothing else.
Yep. So
I hate it.
I think that brings me. So I've watched 3 shows over the past week.
Okay.
Boba Fett,
Yep.
Peacemaker, and one that I actually really like.
Burn Notice?
No, I do like Burn Notice. It's January. And as I think I've said before, part of my January custom is to watch like best of anime videos and stuff and like pick 1 or 2 to watch.
Okay.
Like, because like now it's time for the best of 2021 stuff to like.
You probably should do that 4 months from now.
Why?
Because then you could watch some anime. Don't worry, I hate myself a healthy amount too.
Yeah. So I've watched one. And you know what? It's fucking great.
What'd you watch?
It's called Ranking of Kings.
Sounds nerdy as all hell. Yep. I'm ready.
It is. But you know what? It's just really fucking watchable.
Yeah.
It's
what's the episode length? How long?
20
minutes?
Yeah. And so it's about this kid. He's a prince. And he's born deaf and mute and scrawny.
Just the trifecta.
Yeah. But he dreams of being the world's greatest king.
All right.
Yep. And this world for some reason has like a ranking system of kings.
All right.
His dad is the number 7 king.
Oh, nice.
In the world.
Hopefully not out of 7.
No. There's at least 90. I know.
Oh, wow. He's top 10.
Yeah. Here you go. There he is. That's his dad.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Beard guy.
Yeah. He's a giant. He's a legit like 20 feet tall. He's like the world's strongest man.
Okay. So his wife, the kid's mom, has got to be like an aunt, right?
His mom is not. His mom is also a giant.
I have many questions.
His mom is dead before the start of the show.
Of course it is. That's how anime works.
This is his stepmother here, and this is his half brother.
Is she mean to him?
So that's the thing. No, not really. She is like so the show sets it up, and you think she's gonna be straight up like Lady Tremaine, like the stepmother from Cinderella. You think she's gonna be just evil. And like, there's all this like political stuff about like how his younger half brother should be king because his younger half brother is, competent and can hear and isn't scrawny.
Is it a half brother?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not a step brother.
No, half brother. They have the same dad. His dad remarries.
Dad king. Yeah.
Yes, his dad remarries after his mom dies.
All right.
But this show does. The reason why I think it works is it kind of follows the One Punch Man formula where when a new character is like introduced or is about to like do something relevant to the plot,
yes,
you get a bunch of backstory about it. You get like a flashback or something, and the character is made like sympathetic. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I get it. I know what I go. Yeah. Okay.
Like, so all of these characters, even ones who like see like his half brother, who wants to be the king, even though he's the younger brother, like you think he's going to be just full on straight up evil. Like, I will be king. Like, wahaha. But he's not. Like, yes, he wants to be the king, and yes, he thinks he should be over his older brother. But he's not evil. Like, he legit wants to be a good king, and like has his own motivations. And so that's why it just works. Every character has like depth, and even characters who do heinous shit.
Huh.
And heinous shit gets done. Like, it looks like it's made for kids. Like, I think the art style kind of it reminds me of like Archie comics. You know what I'm talking about? Like Archie and Jughead and shit.
Yeah, with the
like the noses and shit.
The simple features, but it's all done with like lighting effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it just, I don't know. I like it. And it just works. There's the main character, you want him to succeed. He's very sympathetic. But he's got his flaws. Everyone has flaws, but they're also sympathetic. Everything is surprisingly deep.
Oh.
And I like it. And it just works.
What's this on? Funimation?
Yeah, that's where I watch it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's got what, 13 episodes?
So far.
I think so there's more? There's more coming?
The season is going to be like 24, I think.
Oh. Are they releasing weekly?
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to watch this.
I wholeheartedly recommend it.
It's got a similar art style to like a Soul Eater.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's very simple. And then you can see like on his sword and then like cheeks and stuff and the underside of the hair. It's all done with like light, like where you would see source light from.
Yeah.
That's cool. I might have to give it a shot. 20 minutes is about what I can do for an episode. Any more than that, I'm like, meh. It
reminds me of another show, which I might recommend first just because it's over and you don't have to wait weekly. Mob Psycho 100. It has a very similar feel to that. That one was specific. That one was actually written by the guy who wrote One Punch Man.
Okay. One.
But yeah, one. He wrote. He did the show Mob Psycho 100, which is also really good.
Interesting. It looks good. I have no context to like be like, no, this is terrible.
No, I don't think it is. Everyone seems to like, that's the reason why it caught my attention. Is everyone's like, wow, this show's like really fucking good.
I think we talked about it recently. The last anime that got commended to me was Dr. Stone, and I could not get into it.
That looked generic to me.
I understand why people like it. I tried to watch it. I watched the first like 4 or 5 episodes of it, and I just couldn't do it.
Yep. I don't make anime recommendations lightly because most anime I don't like.
I find that if I give it a shot, most of them I'm the opposite. I think most of them I end up liking.
But do you only give a shot to the ones that are supposed to be like really good?
No, because and I don't know. See, that's interesting because I can think of quite a few off the top of my head that I'm like, whoa, this, I like this. But now that I'm actually thinking about it, I think that's a conglomeration of what I have nostalgia for and then what's also top tier.
Right.
That I've watched now. So and I brought up Soul Eater, but Soul Eater is the weird one that I stumbled upon.
That was on Netflix, wasn't it?
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah.
And watched it like right when it came out.
I watched it on your recommendation.
Yeah. And but it has since kind of blown up, which is kind of interesting to me. But that would be the one that I think falls into the obscure category. I think the rest of them are like Dragon Ball Z is objectively not a good show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I love it.
Yeah.
And nothing's going to change that. The original Digimon Adventure, love that. It's terrible.
Yeah, sure.
It was like really bad. It's actually
specifically, I remember watching the 4Kids dub.
Oh,
with
yikes,
where they made like pop culture references and shit.
Yeah. It's at least more streamlined than Dragon Ball ever was, and makes more sense continuity wise.
Well, it's probably have you watched Kai though? Dragon Ball Z Kai, that's pretty streamlined.
Yeah, but it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I watched it. It's if by streamline you just mean shorter, then
more streamlined.
You can basically get the entire Dragon Ball Z storyline from like 6 episodes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Gohan kid, Gohan adult-ish, Gohan more adult.
He's supposed to be like 11 during the Cell Saga.
Yeah, I know. And then everybody dead. Then everyone back alive.
Yay!
And then Goku
dun,
dead.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Yeah. Goku bad dad. Goku worse dad. Piccolo absent dad. Piccolo good dad.
Piccolo.
That's the progression.
Piccolo best dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Reluctant stepfather.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I guess I will. He's basically the guy from Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah.
That's basically Piccolo and Gohan.
I think there's a reason for that. Like grumpy dad is for some reason really endearing to people.
That's because the way dads show love is not come here, give me a hug, smoochies and chocolate chip cookies. It's like, hey, go kill that fish. If you don't kill that fish, I'll probably just push you in the river anyways. Yeah. But then I'll help you when you get back up to do it again. I just want to see how resilient you are. Yeah. And I'm trying to foster that in you.
Yeah. Well, and that's then, like, you catch the fish and then you get to, like prepare it with your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. And you watch the guts spill out and it's something that's grotesque and disgusting, but there's something.
But you're bonding with your dad.
Yeah. So it's warm and fuzzy and you're like, this is.
Yeah.
So that stuff.
That yes. Yeah. That's why that works.
Grumpy dad.
Grumpy dad.
Yeah. Vegeta was a grumpy dad.
He was the grumpiest dad.
And then he comes around.
Yes.
Ish. So I guess Dragon Ball's not that terrible. Dragon
Ball survives entirely on the likability of its characters.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The storyline makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only reason Dragon Ball people like is because we like Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo.
Yeah, the characters are great.
Yeah.
That said, I did watch a video the other day that kind of, and I don't want to say it did, but it kind of made me excited for the movie. I know. So the way it was explained, and it wasn't current enough for me to remember what the video talked about, but it actually did put it in a way that, it could be interesting. It's not how the movie's going to go because that's never how things go. But it made me think, whereas like, I remember when the Broly movie came out, people were like, oh, it could be this, or it could be that. There's always speculation.
Sure.
There's speculation about this movie. And I'm like, I don't care. Dragon Ball Superheroes. But this was the one video that I watched. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be really cool if they did that. But they're not gonna.
No, Dragon Ball has never been as interesting as the fan theories about Dragon Ball.
Right. So
there's so much like intrigue about like the tournament of power and like the angels and shit.
I remember because I watched it when it was coming out live, when it came out weekly, and it was like, oh well, we know how many episodes there are. I was watching it subbed. So it's coming out in Japan, 4 years ago or so now, which is
I watched it.
Crazy to think. And there's like, well, we know that it's going to be episode 136 that it ends, and it was like 134, and they're still full on fighting. Like,
there's no like epilogue to that episode.
Not at all. It's like 3 minutes at the end.
Yeah, no, like and the tournament of power ends in the last episode of Super.
It ends in the last episode, and then you get the Goku and Vegeta fighting on the rock scene, the callback to
sure,
and that like brings them back.
Yeah,
and they wish everyone back. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
which
no stakes,
none at all.
None at all.
It'd be interesting to see if Dragon Ball comes back. We should talk about Activision and Blizzard.
Let's talk about Activision and Blizzard and Microsoft.
Well, I guess it's Activision Blizzard.
Activision Blizzard King. If we're gonna full title it,
they're probably ranked number 1 now. Actually, technically, they're number 3 once they do this acquisition.
I had a picture for that.
Just look outside during a New York winter. That's a blizzard.
All right, hold on. We're gonna replace Boba Fett. Get out of here, Boba Fett. Yoink. But let's start talking about it. Anyway, so Microsoft has bought Activision Blizzard.
Well, they've agreed to buy it, right? For $68 million, $67 million, $68.7 million. There you go.
Yes.
Which it wasn't my idea, but I was watching a video about this, and somebody made the comment of like, why couldn't they have just added like an extra $750 million and made it, $69,420 billion, and then it would have just made people like lose their collective minds.
See, Well, I think that brings up a good point about like I've seen some outlets report it as $70 billion. It was not $70 billion.
No.
The difference between 68 and $70 billion is $2 billion.
Is more than the collective net worth of like the entire region.
Yeah. This deal is higher than the GDP of Panama and basically any other South American country you can think of.
Well, and so remember, Microsoft bought Bethesda, Fallout and Skyrim and all them. What, 7 months ago? Was it longer than that? A year ago? For $7 million or $7 billion.
Was it 7 or 12?
7.
7
7 billion. And that was a lot. So this is basically
it's an absurd number.
I can't fathom $68 million.
$billion.
Or $1 billion. I can't fathom $68 million.
Right.
Much less 100 times that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's an absurd amount of money.
And so what comes along with it is, yeah, you've got it up on screen. You Candy Crush, StarCraft, Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty. The big console things to talk about are obviously Call of Duty. I wouldn't even include Overwatch in. I mean, yeah, it's a huge IP. Now.
It's been a big IP ever since it came out, I think.
Sure. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I think it's peaked.
Oh, sure. Overwatch 2's development has been hell, apparently.
Right. And that's what I don't think that they will replicate their success in Overwatch. That said, we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, so my hope, ideal from this is that maybe Microsoft will get Vicarious Visions and Toys for Bob off of being support studios for Call of Duty and Blizzard. Vicarious Visions were the people who made the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, and Toys for Bob made the Spyro trilogy and Crash 4. Which Crash 4 is fucking great, by the way. Crash 4 is excellent.
Right. So,
but both of those, and you see, oh look, Toys for Bob is on the thing. There it is.
Last one. Just made the cut.
But Toys for Bob after Crash 4 apparently just didn't sell enough, even though it sold really well. It sold millions of copies.
Sure.
Now it's a support studio for Call of Duty. It makes Call of Duty multiplayer maps. Even though it made a terrific Crash Bandicoot game and the Spyro trilogy, which was also really well received. Really well received.
Well, they also own the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater franchise.
Yeah, I think that was Vicarious Visions.
Was it?
And then Vicarious Visions is now a support team for Blizzard.
Yep. Toys for Bob made Crash Bandicoot. Yep.
And I think Toys for Bob was the Skylanders team, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think that's where they really took off, right?
Yeah. But so hopefully, and I think they will. I think Microsoft has done this to bolster Game Pass.
Sure. And it definitely does. And I still think Game Pass is one of the best. If you're even mildly casual as a gamer, I think the Xbox is now definitely the way to go.
It's ridiculous. It's 60. The closest thing I think it can be compared to is when Disney bought Fox for $70 billion.
Well, this is the biggest acquisition that Microsoft has ever made.
Oh, sure.
Ever. Microsoft is not just Xbox. This is not the biggest.
Well, that's why they can do this.
Right. But they're not just Xbox. This isn't the biggest acquisition that Xbox has ever made. Talking about like acquiring Bethesda and all the litany of other game studios that they've acquired since 2017.
Sure. Ninja Theory.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is Microsoft's biggest acquisition ever in anything.
Well, let's compare it to Sony's recent acquisitions.
Of what?
Housemarque?
Yeah.
Do you know Housemarque?
Exactly. Nope.
They're the guys who made Resogun.
Oh yeah. Loved that game in 2014.
They just came out with a game this year that's actually pretty fun. It's called Returnal. It's really fun. but it's not Call of Duty.
No.
They also acquired Fire Sprite, who makes like VR games. And
I believe you.
Blue Point, who were the people who did the Demon Souls remake and the Shadow of the Colossus remaster or remake, I guess.
That's interesting. So Activision published Sekiro.
Yes.
Yeah. So where does that fall? Because they're a From Software.
Yeah. So I assume Sekiro, in the same way that Sony owns Bloodborne as an IP, I would assume Activision owns Sekiro as an IP.
Interesting.
Would be my guess.
So Sekiro 2
would be an Xbox exclusive. Absolutely.
Die Thrice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to name it that.
Absolutely. Yes. Sekiro 2. Yeah. Shadows Die Thrice.
Yeah, I'm looking, and Destiny 2 is not owned by Activision anymore.
Nope.
Bungie bought them out.
Yep. Bungie backed out of that.
Which is when that game started to become playable.
Yeah.
100% as a longtime Destiny player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People are really on it about it now.
Still.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's crazy. But so the question is this: is one, obviously the obligatory exclusivity question. I don't think that they go exclusive with a lot of, like, they're definitely not going to go exclusive with Call of Duty.
I don't know.
I do.
Because they're going exclusive with the next Elder Scrolls. They're going exclusive with the next Bethesda games.
I don't think
I think they're just swinging their dick around. I think they're just saying, fuck everybody else. We're Xbox now.
I don't think so. I think the install base, I think to recoup some of this, maybe they don't care about it.
I think that, boy, that's
maybe they're past the point of making money
for fucking Game Pass subscribers if they have Call of Duty exclusively.
Maybe.
I think that Game Pass subscriber number would fucking skyrocket.
That said, I was at the Mart with the Walls today, and they had not one, not two, but 12 Xbox Series S's in stock.
Oh, Series S's are a dime a dozen.
Yeah, and an Xbox Series X.
They had one.
They had one in the case.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but 12 Series S's.
I did have an opportunity. Like GameStop sent me an email, like, we got a Series X's in stock. You can order it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
but it's like a bundle.
Good on them. Yeah. For Microsoft, like, glad they're available.
Yeah,
like if you want to
look, that I think they now have they have a very enticing roster of games.
Well, so as far as console goes, I think Call of Duty, I still don't think you'll see them go exclusive to Xbox. I think it'll be maybe a timed exclusive, maybe
I don't know. Because I thought that about when they bought Bethesda. They were like, yeah, no, well, we don't know.
Maybe.
See. But then they were like, no, you know what? Elder Scrolls 6, Xbox only.
And also, honestly, they might not make the money back quickly. Not that they care, but you know how much money Candy Crush makes?
Oh, it's absurd.
It's ridiculous. It's more than Call of Duty.
Probably.
No, it is.
Yeah.
And it's always the number one or top 3 on paid apps. Like top grossing apps, Candy Crush, and it's all women.
Yep.
It's like 80% women that play Candy Crush.
Yep.
It's baffling.
Oh, that's why, do you know 50% of gamers are women? It's because they play Candy Crush.
Is that the statistic? Oh God.
Yeah, do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like 78% of people that play Call of Duty are men.
Yeah.
Plus 20%. Yeah.
I'm sure some ladies play Call of Duty.
Ironically.
Thanks, Sean.
I think, ironically, they play Call of Duty. They don't play it. So let me give you a game theory.
A game theory
about, you hate theory, so let me give you a theory about what this means. And I don't think it means anything that hasn't already been said for Microsoft. I think everything that's going to happen is going to happen. You know, and also to be said, this isn't going to happen, the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, until 2023.
Right.
So,
yeah, these things this might get blocked by like the trusts, like busters.
I don't think so.
It's unlikely, but they were eyeballing that Bethesda deal. They went through that with a fine tooth comb.
And I don't care about what's going on with Bobby Kotick and that whole thing. I'm not interested in it.
Real quick, but I'll let you finish your point. But can I just say, like, there are people who are like, "Well, good thing we got Bobby Kotick out of there," you know, like, yeah, good thing he got billions of dollars.
Yeah,
just heinous wealth now.
Yeah, how many shares do you think he owns at $95 a share? Is what the payout's going to be? A lot.
Absurd. He was a co-founder,
right?
Like he's been with the company forever.
And they talk about like all of the scandal stuff, like it's gonna sink this company. That's what they've been, because that's always the precursor, right, to the stories about Activision right now, you know, in being acquired, is that, well, you know, 6 months ago they were putting out legal fires and, you know, this is going down, whatever. That's not enough to sink these companies.
Call of Duty Vanguard was still the number 2 like best-selling game this year.
And that said, like, that's not a defense of crappy work environments.
Oh, of course not.
But the people that are on their Twitter, you know, tirades, they've agreed in principle to pay almost $70 billion. Do you think that they're small? Like, if you can pay $70 billion, you have a lot more than that.
Oh,
hopefully.
No. That's only Microsoft can do this.
Right.
Sony can't do this. Sony couldn't even come close to doing this.
Okay, it's funny you bring up Sony. So my theory about this, is that you see a partnership with Sony and Nintendo.
No.
I think that's what happens.
I don't think so. I think because Microsoft has already started that. There are Microsoft games on Nintendo. Microsoft published games. They've been doing that for the past like year and a half.
That's true.
I think Sony burned the bridge, or Nintendo burned the bridge with Sony a long time ago.
You think so? With the PlayStation 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Japanese, they don't forget anything.
They don't forget anything.
So
they might not remind you of it, but they know.
Yeah, right. So I don't think so. I think that bridge was burned.
Okay. You know, fair. I didn't think of that.
Microsoft is like, all right, we're gonna cut this this bridge off at the pass, you know.
They're playing Japanese pride against themselves.
Oh, 100%.
Oh boy.
I think Microsoft planted those seeds already. I think Microsoft is already like, no, Nintendo's our buddy. What are you talking about?
That's why they bought Mojang in Minecraft, because they're like, what do kids like? Kids like Nintendo, they also like Minecraft.
Well, Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo.
Yeah, I know.
Before the Xbox came out.
Yeah.
Like the original
they
Xbox.
Did not.
And Nintendo fucking laughed at them.
Yeah.
Like legit. We're like, ha ha ha, no.
And then and then the Wii came out like 6 years later.
So I will say I am worried about thinking back to that time. Microsoft bought Rare.
Right.
And fucking ruined them.
Yeah, with the Kinect.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And even before then, they weren't the same Rare.
No.
Like Cameo or whatever the fuck they were making.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah. So that has me worried about these Microsoft studios. I really hope that they don't ruin, you know, these things, I just hope they can manage to make them, you know, good, manage their talent.
Well, so from 2017 to now, they've acquired basically 30 something studios.
Mm-hmm. And
we'll see.
I don't know if Microsoft, and that I think that highlights the difference between Sony acquiring studios and Microsoft acquiring studios. Sony only acquires studios that they've worked with for like long periods of time.
Yeah.
Like Insomniac, which they just acquired like 3 years ago. By the way, I think Insomniac should have held out for Microsoft money because Sony acquired Insomniac for $220 million.
Yeah.
And I think on today's market,
chump change.
Today's market, Insomniac is worth so much more. Insomniac is, in my opinion, Sony's best studio, like far and away.
Yeah,
their output and their like
I could agree
quality
with that.
is just bar none the best. They've released 2 PS5 exclusives already in the past year.
Huh.
And like no other studio has released any. They released Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank. And you know, no other studio is that good. But anyway,
wow. Yeah, they just own so many things.
Yeah. What they got? Give me the highlights.
In Exile.
I don't know what that is.
Entertainment? I don't know, but they bought that in 2018. Founded by Brian Fargo, specialized in role-playing games.
They have a lot of role-playing studios.
Double Fine Studios.
Oh, the Psychonauts 2 was apparently
Tim
fucking
Schafer.
Excellent.
Yeah. Compulsion Games, developers of We Happy Few. Actually a decent game. I don't hate it.
All right.
What else have they got recently? Ninja Theory.
Yep. Did you play Hellblade? It's really good.
Yes, I did. On your Obsidian, like you were saying. Playground Games. They work with Turn 10 on the Forza Horizon series.
Okay.
Undead Labs, State of Decay. Alpha Dog Games, which is a mobile game developer. Arcane Studios, Dishonored.
Yep. Arcane just put out Deathloop exclusively on PlayStation.
Yep.
Because that was a holdover. Like that contract was made before Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Yep. Yeah. So this is all Bethesda there. ID Software, Machine Games, Roundhouse Studios.
Is it ID or is it id? I call it id.
It's probably id, but yeah. And then ZeniMax Online, Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah. And
Tango Gameworks, which does The Evil Within.
Yep.
Which
I think is also currently working on a Sony game. That's Ghostwire Tokyo.
Interesting.
Which again was just like they announced it before the Bethesda acquisition. It's a Sony exclusive.
So we'll see. I think what Sony has to do to come, to get any sort of traction to this is make their consoles available.
They're trying, apparently.
Try harder.
There was a rumor, or not a rumor, like in a story out of Bloomberg, that Sony has been going to like the chip manufacturer and like, we will pay you double for the chips.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we don't have any. like Sony is.
Oh, okay.
Like Sony is like, we will pay for them. We will pay premiums.
Yeah.
But
they're doing it very politely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Japanese are very polite people.
And maybe that's the difference. Maybe Microsoft comes in with their big swinging dick.
Big BDS energy.
Yeah. And just like, because this is big swinging dick energy. Sony, like this, Sony can't compete with this.
No, but
Sony
I think it's just the price tag that's attached with it. I think this is if you scale up the Bethesda deal to this, and maybe it's because I don't know the ins and outs of StarCraft, or I really don't know what the actual dollar amount from World of Warcraft is. I don't know what they're making still from that.
I don't know. There was a huge decline recently.
If you scale up $7 billion for Bethesda to Activision, you don't get 10 times the value.
No,
I don't think so. So maybe there's something.
Call of Duty is ridiculous. Can't like these.
That's true.
Activision has a few fucking just cash cows.
And you know what? Even I was on the PlayStation Store recently. On the PlayStation Store, the top most popular add-on packs or game downloads are always like a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's the next domino to fall is EA.
I mean, before this, I would have thought they were too big. But no, apparently no one is off the table. And although I don't know that Xbox needs to, every EA game is on Game Pass.
Yeah,
they combine their services, EA Access.
Right, so they basically got EA without getting it.
Yeah.
So
they already have that.
And what's the if you're playing sports games like a Madden or FIFA, it's something like 70% on Xbox, either Xbox One or Series S or X. That's what I don't know where that statistic came from, but it's like significantly more on Xbox.
Now every sports franchise is on Xbox with MLB.
Yep.
Finally, MLB The Show.
Right. Are they on?
They're on Xbox now.
Did they?
Which is weird. If you start that game up though, it loads. The first thing you see is PlayStation Studios.
Weird.
With like the flash.
Oh yeah, screen. The Show 21. No kidding.
I have actually have the Jackie Robinson edition of that.
Why?
It came with a hat.
You're so inclusive.
It was
Good Lord.
It was on clearance for $10. Because the Xbox copies didn't sell because it was day one Game Pass.
Right. So who cares?
So I got the physical copy because it came with like a steelbook and a hat.
You know what I love about Game Pass is that it actually drives the price of Xbox games down.
Yeah.
And I love having a physical copy of it, especially if I like the game. I might download it on Game Pass, but if I really take a liking to a game, I'll go out and buy it physically.
Long term, Game Pass is going to kill physical games.
Sure.
There's no doubt. No, except for like limited run games or shit like that.
Yeah, but if you can so it's such a good deal that I'm like, I'll sell my principles for that.
Oh, Game Pass? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's what they said about Steam, basically with pirating games.
Yeah.
If you can make it more convenient.
Yeah, the quality is so much better.
Yeah.
And the convenience, then why would you pirate games?
Right. Or in this case, why would you go out and buy a physical copy of it when for literally pennies on the dollar, instead of paying $60 or $50, I already have it for $60 a year.
Yeah.
And let's be real, how many games do you play for more than a year? Very few.
Well, unless I play none that way. But there
are people that do
who there are just Destiny 2 people.
I've gone through that phase where I never took Destiny 2 out of my console.
Right. I've never had that. There's never been a game where I'm like, yep, this is my game now. This is what I do. But it's because I don't like multiplayer.
Sure. But so this is something like, okay, I want this new game. God of War came out. I'm going to pay $60 for God of War. And I'm going to play it for 3 months. But now with Game Pass, right? And obviously not God of War. With Game Pass, now I've got 9 more months of new games, old games, whatever games I want. And I don't have to pay any more money.
Have you heard any rumors about Project Spartacus?
No.
That's apparently Sony has been workshopping their own answer to Game Pass. And it is codenamed Project Spartacus.
Huh.
It's been making the rounds. And I think this. So the rumor is that it's going to be sort of like a Game Pass thing, but they're not planning on bringing their first party games day and date, like Microsoft is. Microsoft Halo Infinite, the day it came out, it was on Game Pass.
Can we play co-op yet?
Not yet.
Oh my god!
When we can, I'm going to call you, and be like, "Yo, drop whatever the fuck you're doing. Drop your baby. Fucking let's come. I'm out. Come play Halo."
Yeah, but by then phones won't have speakers in them, so you won't be able to call me.
Yeah,
I'm very disappointed in Halo at that point.
Yeah, look, they say it's coming the first quarter 2022, so it should be soon.
Yeah, I only got another month or so left.
But I think this acquisition, though, Sony has to be saying, like, do we have to do day and date? Like, do we have to do, like, Horizon and God of War coming out this year? Like, day one on our service?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Because I think before they could really get by on the quality of their games.
Right.
Like, Halo's fine. Like, Halo's not perfect. Halo's not like that's infinite. It's not that good. It's not like Sony's first parties. Like, they produce like solid games.
Yeah, but they're all kind of samey.
They are all kind of samey. They found the formula, and they're like, this works.
Have you seen the video that's circulated around YouTube? That's like the AAA Sony games all cut together,
where it's like the same camera angle behind the third.
And they like.
I haven't seen that video, but I know exactly what you're saying.
It goes through like God of War, Uncharted, Last of Us, Spider-Man, Tomb Raider,
Days Gone.
Yeah,
I'm sure that
there's a whole bunch of them in there. Horizon.
Yeah.
That third-person camera angle.
Yep.
Can we also a little sidebar? This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So I read an article fairly recently about how God of War was so groundbreaking because it had it was a single camera shot.
Sure.
Dead Space 2 did that. Dead Space 1 did that. But Dead Space 2 really did that.
Did it?
And it didn't have clunky inventory things to bring up. Everything was on screen. You have a pause menu, obviously.
Yeah.
But
right, you have
everything's
no one's playing a fucking 20-hour like uncut.
Right. But whereas like God of War, it was lauded for this one cut immersive camera angle where you still have an inventory menu. Mm-hmm. You still can equip things to Kratos there or whatever. That's still Kratos, right?
Still Kratos. Yeah.
I couldn't get into the game. But
I liked it. I actually replayed it. It might be my favorite PS4 exclusive.
I recently fired up my 360 and played Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so good.
They're so good. I'm looking forward to the Dead Space remake.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Have you seen the reveal trailer for that?
No.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a thing.
Oh, it's 100% a thing.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. Like, it looks fucking beautiful.
No, I just thought about it, and the reason I loaded that up and played Dead Space 1 and 2, and I forgot how much I actually enjoyed 2. I've always had a real fondness for 1. I think 2 is more flawed.
So the way I describe the Dead Space series is it's almost the same as the Alien series, where the first one is a really solid horror thing. The second one is a really solid horror action thing. And then the third one
just blows the fucking doors off things. Oh my God. Here's a minigun.
Yeah, that's the Dead Space franchise. Although, in Defense of 3, which I haven't actually really played.
Yeah.
I've only seen it and I was like, that's not what I'm looking for. My little brother, Tyler, he's been on the show. He played Dead Space 3. Apparently you can play through the whole thing co-op.
Yeah.
And apparently that's really fun.
That's the draw of it. And you know what? In retrospect, looking at the series 1, 2, and 3, I'm fine with 3 being what it is because I have played it and I've played it co-op, and you can't do that on 1 and 2.
No.
And that's kind of what, like, 3 is its own thing.
Sure.
And you know what? It's different. If it was just more Dead Space 2, I'd be like, meh.
Right.
It's fine.
What I want is that feeling I got the first time I played Dead Space 1, where I turned it off after 10 minutes because I was like,
I can't handle this game. Yeah, I remember all of my favorite games on the 360 started with D. Started with Dark Souls.
Dark Souls good.
Yep, and then Dead Space, and there was another one too.
Doors of Horizon.
Darksiders. It wasn't it.
Dead Island.
I didn't hate
Dead Rising.
Dead Rising I didn't like. Dead Island I did not. All right, I did kind of enjoy.
Just thinking of all the D games on Xbox. There's a surprising amount.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And I was like, weird. Because
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh God, no.
Burst Limit.
Raging Blast.
Raging Blast 2.
It wasn't it.
Raging Blast 2 had Super Saiyan 3 Broly.
Hell yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, from the fandom.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but Dead Space 1 and by extension Dead Space 2 were just so ahead of their time. Visceral, it's the company that made them.
Yeah, they're not going to around anymore.
No.
They were shuttered
by Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Soon to be Microsoft.
Yeah, right. We'll see.
Yeah.
But they're I don't know. I don't like the monopoly. I don't like it.
Well, at least they have a console to do stuff with. It's not like Tencent where they're just
the arms race is on.
I agree.
But it's like Sony can't compete with it, and Nintendo can't compete with it.
But Nintendo has a niche.
Nintendo does have a niche.
Do you think then the next logical step for Sony to just become the next Nintendo
and go weird?
Yeah, because they already kind of are. They're weird.
Yeah, but they're still pretty
mainstream. Yeah.
But PlayStation matters more as a brand than Xbox.
I agree.
Yeah. But Xbox is bullying its way to change that. Like, just with money, just fucking fine. We'll just buy our way to the top.
I'm just looking up Dead Space stuff now. I'm so excited for Dead Space.
All right, I think we've gone about as far as we can with this.
Yep. Hail to your Microsoft overlords.
Yep. It's just we're gonna soon be under the Microsoft Disney mega umbrella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give me more Boba Fett. Oh yeah.
Oh, Boba.
What a stupid name.
Yeah.
It's all for the family. Madrigal.
Yep. Disney Plus. There it is.
There it is. I want a Boba Fett cameo in Encanto 2.
They probably will because fucking nostalgia. Ugh.
Well, I don't think they'll make it Encanto 2. Do you think it'll be called Encanto Dos? Has to be, right?
Well, obviously they would call it that. Yeah. 100%.
Oh, I hate it.
But Encantos.
Encantos.
Nailed it.
This has been your weekly dose of PCP. Thanks for tuning in to the We the People Podcast Network.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. What?
Kill yourself.
All right.
Dead Space, chopping off limbs.
Yeah. What was the term for that? They had like precision something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dismemberment.
Yes. They had like a buzzword term for it.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. I'll tell you though.
Okay. Next time on PCP.